New reaction to that redacted Mar-a-Lago affidavit released by the DOJ just a couple of hours ago, including from far-right corners of the internet. Of course, that means we're going to be talking to NBC News senior reporter Ben Collins. So, Ben, those on the far right, they wanted to see the search warrant that was released. They wanted to see the details of the affidavit. A redacted copy was released. Now what are they saying?
Now they're saying we have to see the Mar-a-Lago tapes. Now they're pushing it over to Trump because the goalposts have to just keep moving. There's a guy named J.M. Berger who wrote a book about extremism, and he put it very eloquently. They're looking for weaponizable data points. They're looking for people they can target. They're looking for people they can dox and harass. They're not looking for an end game here. They could have found a body in these boxes, and that wouldn't have been enough for them. They would have been like, oh, that's somebody else's body. Like, it's not Donald Trump had nothing to do with that body. There is no end game here for them. The end game is to keep stalling, keep delaying, keep pushing this forward, keep making it look like some sort of political persecution. And then, there is no possible way this ends for them other than political persecution.
So the interest that you're seeing in some of these far-right corners of the internet is not to defend Trump, and it's not necessarily to get more information or seek the truth. It's actually almost retribution.
Yeah, it's just retribution. That's what Trumpism is now. It's retribution and revanchism on political enemies in what they view to be, some sort of culture war norms. They want the world to return to, the pre-90s world in general, but they also they want to get revenge on the people who changed the world to make it so they had less power in their view, in their eyes. That's what they thought they were getting with Trumpism 1.0. They didn't think he was serious enough about this culture war. Now they think that he's going to actually exact that revenge if he gets back into office.
I remember when the details of the search warrant were first released in that property receipt, and you had actually pointed out a conversation online in which someone said it doesn't matter if state secrets were delivered to Saudi Arabia on a silver platter along with a cheeseburger. Why does that not matter?
Because that's not what it's about. He's always being done wrong. It's persecution to them. It's not about facts or information. It's about buffeting the narrative that this guy stands in for all of them who have been persecuted by the left. So if they can find more ways to make that the truth, they will do it. But they need enemies. They need characters. That's why the affidavit didn't land today. There was no new person in there. They could be like, that's the bad guy now. So now they need to move. That's why tapes would help a lot. They get to identify people. They get to search for these specific FBI agents who did the search. They get to search for the snitch or the narc that they thought was somewhere in that in the Trump cavalry. So that's why it didn't land today. They were looking for somebody else to blame.